Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I could tell you, well, the only things I really could tell you is that every time I've seen this woman perform, she would pull shit from memory, and she would do a phenomenal job of it. So I am thrilled that she was able to get this spot for a feature here at the Gallery Cabaret at the Cafe Gallery. Sorry, I'm losing my voice because it's been such a loud, crazy all night. And I've also had to instruct the camera, my handy-dandy camera, make sure the camera's pulled back because she's ready to get all animated. So I'm waiting for something crazy to happen on the stage as well. Although I will have to tell her to eat the mic as much as she can. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am thrilled for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to scream for our feature this evening. Give it up for Andy, Karol.
Melanie.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you everybody for coming out tonight and braving the tornadoes, the storms.
We love you!
I love you too. No, I hope that it starts thundering even more because I think that would be more fantastic. Fantastic background to these words. So. I'll put my set list down there. Yeah. Anyway, so this first one, let's see where we're at. Okay, this first one, we all go through our days, and I had a day, and I went to the mill, and I felt really inspired, but I left feeling very just distracted, and I mean, kind of distracted in a good way for the most part. I got to the train. I went the wrong way. So, okay, has anybody else done that? Okay, thank you. Yes. So, here's the thing, and this was almost a year ago, and they're doing construction on the tracks, and so they skip everything. I end up having to go as far north as possible. This 30-minute commute turned into 2 hours, so that was fantastic. But the good part of this is that I was able to pull out my notebook and write most of this poem. So, yeah, so I got this out. This is called Napkin Poem, although it should be Train Poem. You are my last napkin poem, my last cry for help, my last deity of worship. I slaved my hurried thoughts and smooth words for you. I wove your every fiber after each tear, the condensation from your water glass left behind in molecular crop circles. Hydration is key to good health, and I never planned for you to go dry. You would turn me on, then leave me hard, like you would to an unfinished love poem, and you did. My next lover will come with tear-stained cheeks and wine-stained lips. She'll come in packaging that says, try me now. She won't claim an emotional IQ, then dress in tank tops to wear her heart in her chest. My arms will wrap her like a tattoo sleeve. My ink will write her name in love letters. My next lover, she will be the love poem you never wrote to me. She will rhyme with my syllables and be the fountain of youth in my pen. She will be a napkin poem I will protect in my pocket, remove before I take care of my dirty laundry. I will smell her downy shirt and think, home. I will call her lover and hear the same reciprocals being the only math I ever seemed to get right in school because they said I need it in the real world, and I do. I need you, lover. I need the you I have never met, but maybe I did, and it was just the change of seasons that caught up to me. But I can go back in time to memories. I can future my thoughts to what I want, and I want the all of you that warms the whiskey on the cold rocks, that wipes the crumbs from fallen conversations at dinner parties. I want to never clench you in my fist, but I will write to you in pen and keep your permanence for as long as I can. Even the loveliest of napkin poems are tossed away eventually, but I promise to only write my truth on you, and to hold on to that truth for as long as I can, for as long as there is maybe. Vodka.
She takes that bottle, swig of vodka.
Just right.
I was actually sick over the weekend, and so I was like, oh, I gotta drink tea. And one of these poems was the last one I worked on. Julio probably heard it because I pace around. Okay, now I'm going on a tangent, but this is worth it. And I guess this is a great time to apologize for all the times that you hear me talking to myself and walking around and taking a scooter and sometimes going back and forth, maybe at 10 or 11 at night.
I don't know.
Yes, that does.
I get a lot, yeah.
but whatever gets it going keeps me awake. So, yes, thank you. Thank you for being such an awesome neighbor. I'm so glad I don't have anybody above me, especially a spoken word artist. That is fantastic. So yes, I have a 5.5-year-old son, and he's phenomenal. He actually went through preschool. I refuse to say graduate until he actually graduates high school. But he finished preschool last Friday, and they had a pizza party, and I read this poem for the class. And then they're doing this little craft, and I'm helping the kids out. And I'm sitting there, and this girl gets up, and she comes over, and she's like, "Are there really monsters up under your bed even now?" And I said, no, just think good thoughts, and they go away. And she lit up this biggest smile ever, and I just like, it was great. So anyway, you'll see why she said that. But these kids, I guess you have to watch what you actually say to them, but yeah, they're phenomenal. They're our teachers. All right. So this is to my son, age 5. It's a fact that there will always be monsters under the bed. But what you don't know now is that the ones that want to hurt you the most live in your head. Jumping 2 feet from the floor to the bed in the dark won't stop monsters from trying to grab you and hold you down. You must always look for what is in front of you and take the leap. You will be told you must do only what's right, but it is your right to know that there are more destinations than there are maps. You were born with so many rights that there could never be wrongs, only revising. The earth orbits the sun in only one direction, but there is so much space in between that you need to be the astronaut who discovers the right way for you to stay grounded. The orbits will give you days, or even months or years where you will feel chaos, like your veins have become jungle gyms to lucky rabbit feet, and your stomach is a sanctuary of monkey bars. This is the evolution of your becoming, and you will become energy, like you are electricity down the plastic park slide, landing with your feet on the ground and stars in your hands, and when you hold them up to the sky, I promise you a big bang that will give you galaxies if you can only trust that they will appear. Open your arms, but don't stop there. Open your rib cage, your heart, your spine, and when you feel you are too open to the world, then open your mouth so you can spin cocoons out of the threads that have become unwoven. Because I promise you, bridges are built when you spill your guts to someone. The world is full of embrace, but sometimes you must be the first to lay out your bones and wave your skin like a flag of surrender. The armies of lovers will come to you, I promise. Come ready to battle for any belief that runs fierce irons into your blood. But don't forget that why you have chosen to fight holds just as much weight as what you are fighting for. Remember, it can be as lonely as where did you go? Remember, it can exhaust you as much as there's no way to go on. I'm telling you now, you were born with a fire in your gut that burns steady and says, this is the way. The biggest promise from you must be in loving yourself. There will be nights when you will think stars are all you have left to slingshot your dreams, but it is fact that you are made up of stardust. So you can look up to the sky to remember that you are awesome times infinity, and they are light years away from ever reflecting even a glimmer of that. I saw it the first time I held you. I saw it, and did you hear what I said? You are so awesome.
No. Yeah. Maravilloso.
You made us stardust too.
You guys are twinkling for me.
It's all science.
So I also love talking about gender, and I'm also a photographer, and gender is a part of a lot of my work. And I like to focus on that too. I like that focus on it. So I talk about gender and incorporate it into my work. It's a very big part of my life. And going back to my son, because kids are fun to talk about and kind of an easy subject, but especially when they're 5. This last Monday, I went to pick my son up from his camp, and this
What is his name?
Noah. Noah is my son. Yes. Noah. So this little girl comes up, and she comes over to me, and she looks up, and she said, "Are you his big brother?" And you know, you can think that this is a bad moment, but this is actually a very good moment for me because, first of all, kids are our teachers, and I think it's okay to ask questions and to question things that don't seem so typical, that aren't, you know, stuck in the binary. It's extremely important. So we need to look at these kids and encourage them to ask these questions. But then the teacher's right there next to me, and you see her do this is what happens. You know, she does the head duck, because they're going to pretend that they didn't hear what happened. And that's where, if you're asked a question like that, that's where you also become a teacher, letting them know that you're not embarrassed, that they don't need to be embarrassed, that this is something that we can talk about, and it's okay. And this is how you will answer with honesty. No, I'm his mom. And sometimes asking questions, well, what made you think of that? Anyway, I can go on and on about that, but I thought it was a great moment, and it doesn't help that she asked again yesterday. But I'm thinking she's not convinced, but that's okay. It is. So I wrote this poem. Hold on, let me have a chug of this vodka. These thunderstorms and the high humidity make me like really, really dry. Or maybe it's the nerves. So this is called Pretty Things. He told me he thought I was the first boy he had loved when he saw me from across the room. I was sure the delicate nature of his hands, as he described this memory, were torn from the sketchbook of my first girlfriend. She told me I was so pretty, and my head was lost in definitions, complete with visuals of what pretty is, so I knew it was possible to be sunsets and orchids and the shine of a chrysalis. It was the pretty boys speak of Boys Town that taught me I could pack a boatload of imagery into the dark denim of my jeans, and even if I painted my eyes into sunsets, the boys would still let me know I may be just twink enough to come home with them. I was not looking for lovers in a room full of Pandora's box drink specials. I wanted last calls to stay foreshadows instead of finality. Most nights, I shadow boxed to myself on my own walk of shame. Who really needs lovers for that? 3 years later, beauty followed me home, called me by a new name, and taught me to fuck like I meant it. With courage carved into the veins of my arms, I could hold on for dear life when each sucker punch stole the air from a room that spoke. "This is the ladies' room. Can I help you, sir? Sir, sir, sir." Ma'am, I found myself looking for validation like I only know how to look for love in most of the wrong places. I have deemed it my emotionally abusive relationship, my lover who feigns interest on only the holiest of days. There is nothing holier than a Fair Queen pageant at 17 where you think pretty may be born between tiaras and haystacks. My first runner-up roses were just perfume samples from teen magazine Bibles of not good enough. I had ballet class to learn how pain is pretty, and I had boys to teach me that pretty is sometimes how far you're willing to go. From the ladies who raised me, I learned, if you want to be pretty, you grow your hair long before your wedding day, and you better damned well never look like a dyke. It was a husband who taught me how to tie my tie. And it was a handsome girl who dared me to write poems, reminding you that little girls are more than sugar and spice. There will always be poems you should write, she said, even if it takes again and again to believe. Redundancy lives in most of the pretty things. There is a girl somewhere across the room who is the boy I once loved too. You guys doing all right? You guys drinking enough?
Killing it.
Killing it. Good.
Refill your drinks.
Yeah, please do.
She's almost out of vodka. What?
I'm like almost halfway there. Yeah, I have to really take care of this voice since I got so sick with these fun colds that you contract from children. But I just want to thank you guys again for like coming out tonight when it's really stormy and with the tornado warnings and everything. And you know, it made me feel really good to have friends show up, and it's really special. And thank you, Janet, for doing this. I can only imagine how much work that you put into these, and you know, it doesn't go. I mean, hopefully, it doesn't go unacknowledged. But you know, people don't not realize that, and it's very, very important the work that you do. Words are important. Poetry is important. These kind of events are extremely important. This is therapy, especially for people who don't have a therapist.
If you have a therapist, you have a bar.
Yeah, you have a bar. So, yeah, that actually, let's go into this. Let's talk about darkness a little bit. I think, you know, you don't have to be a poet to really feel the darkness. That's, you know, it's a great stereotype, but we all go there. And I've had a lot of friends recently really struggling with a lot of stuff. And not only struggling, but also feeling shame. And I think it was a friend who recently told me about her own depression. And it's kind of like a coming out for some people, which I think is very respectable. It's because we're told to not really talk about this. I think we need to talk about our dark places. That's really the only way to help getting the healing going. And so that's why the arts and poetry and music and all of that is just fantastic for this. So yeah, this is really to everybody who's kind of working on their own shit. And just keep working on your own shit, okay? Just keep doing it. Step into the light and dance. I want you to dance like everyone's watching. Even the lonely have an alibi with the universe. Your light is sustained by your darkness. Without one, the other goes missing. Tonight, you are a miracle. Cheek to cheek with the bathroom floor, too much tired in your bones for the standing ovation you owe to your magical life. Step into the light and love. I want you to love again like your heart felt too many times, only the breaking. This told you maybe love isn't all it's cracked up to be. And your heart is so open, you feel there's a lightning storm in your chest. It's the breaking that makes love into thunder. Let it roll through your frame. Let it rattle your hollow. A palm reader therapist looked at your hand and said there's only a eulogy there. But I bet there are poems between your fingertips. And don't you believe for a second that I don't understand how a body can forget how to feel, and how we forget words can translate the sounds of what's empty. Loosen your jawline and sing along to the songs that you once listened to over and over so you can hear live, live, because once music used to make you feel so alive. Everywhere you went, there were constellations of life exhaling through your moon pores. I promise you, they are still there, just slightly eclipsed. We are taught to silence our secrets until the forgetting takes hold, but the soul has a reflex of recall. Step into the light and wait. I need you to wait. Like you speak cocoon, like you know the transition comes before flying. This is a hymn for the resurrection from your heart dust. Sing it like your orphan Annie and belt out tomorrow. At this point, tomorrow's only in 2 hours and 26 minutes. You think I don't know how these minutes pull like a rip tide? I've counted them like the pills on the counter. Healed the sting of the vodka with orange juice, pretended that this is the healing that comes with the dying. Tonight is a hurricane, and you are the eye. It's passing, it's moving, and my gods, how brave it is to survive the storm. Tell me what it feels like to fist bump the heartbreak. Tell me what it feels like to tag your initials right onto your hope chest. This is your homeland. This is your first love. This is love. Step into the light and live.
That was phenomenal. And I will say multiple things. One, people know, everybody here has seen it, I'm recording the feature as well as the open mic because we make podcasts. And so anybody who is up for an open mic, you are going to be up on YouTube. And if there's space for you, you have a podcast later in the future because all through June, every week I've got features lined up. And I saw some people recording video of it. And there is a Facebook event page for this evening. I would love it if you would post up a link. I really would, because as soon as we get the video up from this, it's going to be linked up on that event page. If you don't know where it is, go to Andy Carroll's page, or bug me, it's Janet Kuipers, and I'll have links to it or something, so that we can see the video for individual poems, and that would be double plus awesome. And oh gosh, I've got so much to talk about. Andy Carroll, I need to tell you because we were running, well first of all, as a magazine, I really like the first poem that you did. And I also like the one about the gender, I can't remember, the whole thing with the whole explanation of, oh, they're just calling you sir, ma'am, sir, that one. I would consider both of them for publication in CC&D magazine, if you would like to send them to me. Also, because we were going to be running this year, the plan I had, since I do publishing stuff, I was like, I'm going to pick things from features, or features would choose a piece, and I would do it into a collection book at the end of the year of everybody that was featured in select pieces called The Chosen Few. Now, it says it on the website, but then half the people maybe send me something, so I have no idea if that book is going to run, although I may choose to publish it as a small publication of people who send me things from features, or people who send stuff that's awesome like that, or people from open mics that have had stuff that's been running in CC&D. I might put that in. I have no idea how it's going to come together, or if it's going to come together, but you, feature lady, should be sending me those poems because I would appreciate it very, very much. Now, oh my gosh, I'm losing my breath. Now I'm going to talk about features because I know you are all fascinated with it, because this is a crazy, crazy, crazy month, because normally we're every other week, and all through June we are every week. So next week, this is a regular feature open mic night. We happen to have Esteban Colon, and nobody knows who the hell he is, but trust me, you're so worth it. Oh my God, we're waiting for the bus. He's phenomenal. He's phenomenal, and I'm thrilled that he's going to be here. And it's the days before my birthday, and it's going to be an awesome, awesome time because he's double plus thrilling. And then the week after that, if you know the lyrical notations of Dan Cleary, on June 26th, he is up on June 26th, and then this is the bad news. We're running every other week, but we have to cancel on July 3rd. So the next time we're going to be running is on July 16th. And that happens to be my sidekick, who's not even here this week, but Mr. Bob Rashka, the bouncer himself, is going to be the feature for that. If you want to know anything about the open mic at all, you can always go to chaoticarts.org/thecafe, because this is the cafe gallery, and it used to be at the cafe. So chaoticarts.org/thecafe. We got a schedule, we got details that'll have info about our feature from this week, and you see anything from future weeks. And thank you all for coming out here. I look forward to seeing you all next week. Thank you so very much. She's like, no.
Thanks. So, actually, I had my set list, and I was looking at my watch more than the set list, and I'm like, I'm getting close to 9, so I just totally didn't do this one. Nice. So I'll do it now, because why not? So with this, I'm just going to preface it with, we all go through these times in our lives where we really feel like the themes are hitting us right in the face. Whether you believe in like you only have one life or you have multiple lives, whatever you believe, that's your own choice. But I sometimes have like a month or a year where I'm like, this is this theme, and this last year has really been a really interesting year for me. So I'll say that my theme for sure is self-love, and when you go through a lot of breaking, when relationships get broken, whether it's lovers or family members or close friends, you put so much stock into that person and all of a sudden it's gone and you almost feel like you've lost a part of yourself, and that's really hard. So you need to keep working that self-love and those self-love affirmations every day to really feel it. All right, so this is called Human.
Oh yeah.
Today I'm making my heart into candy so I can fill you with the words I mean. Can you stomach me more than butterflies? I want to be wished into each of your lashes so when you close your eyes, I never go away, like the times I sometimes do. Stop watch my feet, shotgun my intentions because they're all still there at the starting line, wanting to always win, but never finish. Last night I was drawing ferns on my floor to cleanse the air and to help you see the me I sometimes lose to myself. Into the veins of the leaves I breathed my dreams and replaced the green of the envy with the dark blue that promises possibilities for me. Can you imagine a field of starry-eyed ferns? I can. Because my mind works as pinwheels that move to action when your breath is delicate on me. Don't blow me away because your dreams of us got stranded on dandelion stems. My feet were too heavy to come back to you, stepping down each stair. 3 flights, I gave you each of those times 5 to reason me away for good. I'm learning to be human, learning what it means to forgive myself, but the race isn't won by a run to the front door. Did you know the muscles burn more on the way down than on the way up those stairs of yours? Sunsets of bruises on my skin need to be soaked in a bath of love poems I write to myself. So this next one's for me more than it is for you. And I ask for your patience since my interpretation is fast, but my writing is slow, pulling me to stubborn like the moon that holds to the sky when the sun turns the spotlight on herself. I stay quiet, like the pause after the finale, but I have an encore of kisses for you like a metronome that won't quit. I'll be writing the last verse when you say, I'm too human now. I'll say maybe I always was. I pulse in my wrist as your blood brother. I bleed to the same moon as you as your sister, and maybe that's why we bleed. So we can learn to forgive those who break us. And if the race we're all running is the human one, then I'm breaking through that ribbon and stealing gold.
There's something I forgot. I kind of hate her because she knows absolutely everything that she's reading. And I'm like, I could do half of that, but I like to have my paper in front of me. That's sick that you know everything, woman. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.